From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher. Their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicki Fisher. Our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Skripchuk. And our Batman, the master of tools, gadgets, and all things mechanical, our mild-mannered soon-to-be billionaire, Alan Danvers. Their mission, to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them, and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Captain's Log Supplemental.
Miss Vicki.
Yes, sir.
You know what?
What?
I've been thinking about this Sentinel system.
Yeah. Tell me about the Sentinel system.
So what I was thinking was, we have the one car that's got the aim dash that's slowing us down. Because installing the aim dash is actually, it probably is easy, but it's quite hard the first time. And we haven't figured that out yet. The Sentinel system is really easy to set up. So what I was thinking was, why don't we put it in the Lemons car? And we'll worry about the aim data information separately. And we'll kind of break it down into a project. Because then we'd have the motorsports video system that we really, really want, and we'd be able to stream it. We just won't have the data inside, but we have the data outside, so we can combine them later. But I think that's a really good solution.
So what does this Sentinel system do?
Well, if it had the aim data, it would have all the data on the screen, and you could see all their telemetry and everything live. But we'd be able to not only record it for viewing after the race, but we could actually watch our car during the race.
Ooh, like on the monitor and everything?
On a monitor, if you were at home and I was at a track, or if you were at the track and I was at home, depends on who gets the little short straw, but we'd be able to watch each other.
It's something I've always wanted to do.
And you know what? If you're driving, you know what you can do on the Sentinel system?
What's that?
You can communicate to me with your hands, and I can't do a thing about it.
Even better.
So, if you need to give a wave or a Jersey wave, whatever you need, we could save it and see it on the screen. And then you can have up to 3 different cameras, and it'll have picture in picture. You'll have the basic main shot out the front window, and then 2 cameras where you put them wherever you want. One could be on the driver, or one could be on the rear view. It's kind of cool.
Then we can upload it onto YouTube.
We could bore millions of people on YouTube.
I love it.
All right. Very well. You know what the only downside I see about this?
What?
Your mom and my mom are going to be panic stricken the entire weekend watching this thing to see if everything's going well.
This is true.
We probably shouldn't tell them.
I like the idea of having a Sentinel.
Mm-hmm. Well, luckily we have maybe 2. Depends on how things go. We're going to try. All right. That sounds like a plan. That's the project. We got to get that ready for the next race.
Sounds great.
All right. Very well. Thank you, ma'am. On this special episode of, I'm going to start that over. On this special episode of Dominating with Dawson, we have Jeremy.
Woohoo!
And Ben.
What's up? Hey.
We got everybody.
All right. So not quite everybody, but we got the best people are here. The best.
We got the important ones. No. Let me rephrase that. No, I didn't mean to say that.
We are left chaperoneless, so we know how this is going to go.
Man.
So, Ben, I don't know about you, but I know that our friend Jeremy here does this quite often. So one thing we've never talked about is when you're traveling to a race, what do you bring if you're flying?
Oh, man, I've done this maybe a couple of times.
I've done it a couple of times.
If you keep your helmet with the stuff you're taking on and off the plane, it's a good conversation starter. People will talk to you about it. It's like if they can tell you that you have a helmet peeking out of your big duffel bag, or for whatever reason. So I've found that the helmet is a conversation starter, and I'm an introvert, so I'm like, stop talking to me about anything.
You can just wear it on the plane, then.
You can do that too.
if you're tight on space, I guess you literally could wear your helmet on the plane. Like, it could stop you, right? Like,
it's COVID safe. You don't have to wear a mask now.
I think the couple of times I did it, I kept it pretty light because I was kind of carrying extra stuff with my safety gear. I went with all of my safety gear stuff when I flew a couple of times. So I had my helmet, my head and neck restraint, which is the Hans. I had my suit, my undies, my socks, and then I think I kept all that kind of crap in a duffel bag. It was pretty full, kind of just like a big long duffel bag. And then I think I had the rest of them, in my backpack. I'm kind of like the person who wears flip flops and shorts and t-shirt everywhere. So, a couple sets of that and some toiletries, and that's pretty much all I needed. And obviously my wallet, chargers, weird stuff. That's it.
We'll talk about that later.
I love how you throw
butter.
the weird stuff in there.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Jeremy Hall.
I get those little packets from Whole Foods. You can rip it like a big old ketchup packet.
Yeah.
You can squeeze it on wherever you need it to be.
Wherever.
Squeeze it.
Wherever.
Yeah, it's a little greasy coming out, but it's cool.
Jeremy, help me.
Oh God.
Help.
It's Vicky's fault. She left us unattended.
I know.
I feel like we're gonna have peanut butter themed T-shirts this year.
We might. I've done worse. I've got a cookie car. I might as well have peanut butter.
This is true. No, Ben really hit everything. I try to travel light when I'm traveling to a race, just like Ben. So obviously, if you're going to race, you need all of your safety gear. And I try to incorporate, 2, depending on how many days I'm going to be there, maybe 3 changes of clothes. But most of the time, you're in your suit anyway throughout the whole day. So you don't need a whole bunch of clothes. Bring extra underwear if you need them. Bring extra underwear if you want to bring extra anything, because your clothes don't typically get that dirty at a racetrack unless you're working on the car. Obviously your toiletries, your toothbrush, peanut butter.
Yep.
Do not forget your phone charger, because you definitely want to keep that charged so you can call your wife at the end of the day.
Always preferred.
Or in the middle of the day after you did a big wreck and she's pregnant and she's like, hey, go to the infield care center. You're like, I didn't really hit that hard. Did your head hit anything? Well, probably not. Go to the infield care center. Something like that, just for example.
Exactly.
My helmet has a dent in it, but my head's fine.
Yeah. But go ahead, Ben.
Sorry, I just want to jump in because you made a huge point there when you mentioned to bring an extra pair of underwear. No matter what you're doing, I think, listener, everybody, family, friends, whether you're traveling for a race or not, pack an extra pair of underwear. Underwear is fairly expendable. I had to tell a story just this week about how, as a early 20s, right out of college worker, I had lost a pair of underwear in a tragic workplace break. I was still so young that my mom had written my name in the waistband. And let's just say, hypothetically, I had to separate the waistband from the underwear before disposal just to be sure nobody could trace the incident back to me.
So since Vicky's not here, so there I was. I'm in a town called Semarang in Indonesia, and I'm working in a facility where they make toilets and dishes, not necessarily in that order. So after eating the food in Semarang, which is as good as you think it is,
Bill,
for several days.
Hustle back to the institute.
For several days. So I can't make it through the entire day. And I do what I got to do. And I'm sitting there and I look to my right and there's this 1 foot by 2 foot ceramic tile box filled with water that's trickling in and going out the bottom. And on top of this 1 foot by 2 foot water trough, there sits 3 scallop shells. and in the water, this is the entire purview of my vision. In the water is a bunch of big, they look like grasshoppers, but they're underwater. And this is my entire situation here. And I'm looking and I'm like, So I'm an engineer. I come up with this great solution. I'm wearing jeans. I don't necessarily need these pockets in these jeans. So there I am ripping my pockets out of my jeans because I am not getting near these scallop shells. It's not like BYOS. It's community scallop shells, and I'm good. I'm really good. And lost a pair of jeans, and I had a backup in case I got sick. I figured I had 2 socks, and that would have been So underwear is good because that would have been great to have an extra pair.
You raised so many more questions than you answered, but there's no way I can ask all the questions now. But let's both resonate the same message. Maybe all 3 of us can join in unison and spreading the message that bring spare underwear on any endeavor, especially racing.
Always. Can
we agree on that?
Can't go wrong. When I'm packing for a race, I sit there and say, well, it's a 3-day race. I grab 3 pairs of underwear, and then I throw like 2 or 3 more in just in case, stuff happens.
And you grab another trusty pair of jeans, right?
Exactly.
Just to be safe.
Or bring your own shell, whatever. We can do that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right. So back to this subject, Jeremy. Sorry, we digressed with 2 stories, and I don't know why. Why are we left unchaperoned?
I don't know. I don't know why she does it to us.
Poor choice.
Should you bring things that you use for like data collection? Should you bring your laptop or your tablet, stuff like that, to collect data if you're doing that?
You can.
Yep. If you're going to do that and you need it, absolutely. If you have to do some work at night or something like that, bring your laptop, bring your iPad. But I, not necessarily racing, but instructing, I travel the country so much doing it that, I try to bring the least amount of things as possible. That's it. Like,
right.
I only need these things. If I only need my race suit, I only need this. I'm going to bring 2 pairs of, change of clothes, my charger, my phone, and I'm going. I'm off. I'm gone. Right.
Yeah. I'm like that Seinfeld episode where I think he packs in front of a lane. He's like, it's a record. He's like setting a record packing. That guy's, he's always in the back of my mind when I'm packing my stuff. I'm like, I got it.
Yeah. So
I appreciate your efforts and your answers, but the correct answer.
Ready? Here we go. Correct answer.
The correct answer is you read the rules and you read them explicitly. And if it says you cannot race without showing your driver's license, you bring your driver's license. If it says you cannot race without bringing purple socks, guess what? I'm packing purple socks. And then if you have more room, you bring stuff. The optional stuff.
It's true. It's true. I've been, there's some places where I'm like, do I need to take my driver's license to tech? And I'm like, no, I'm not a lemons race. They only make you do that at lemons. But it's important to kind of know the stuff you're going to need to be walking around and make sure there's nothing that's going to preclude you from getting into the race car that you don't have, especially with driver's license.
Because you're going to race a car. And if you don't bring something that lets you race a car, why are you going?
Yep.
Sure. Now, I have my bonus thing. Here's what I like to do, given the opportunity. I like to mail ahead 2 or 3 weeks ahead to one of my co-drivers everything I need, because my helmet does not fit in the overhead because it is 2XL for all this brain. And it doesn't fit. And I don't want the stewardess to say, hey, you can't get on this plane with your helmet, because then I am back into position of I can no longer rake my race. So I make sure it's there. And then I call up my teammate and say, hey, did you get my package? And they say, yes, I did. And then I feel all happy.
But are you anti checking your helmet? Are you worried about your helmet?
I am never checking a helmet. I have seen what they do to bags.
Yeah. So like literally, let's talk about that for a second too, because I think it's important. So, I mean, if your helmet catches an impact like you dropping it off the workbench, you need to replace it pretty much. Pretty much, yeah. So we know what happens to bags. And let's be real, even if you got that little foam pad around it, you know what I mean? Like a foam neck pad is not going to foam neck collar. It's not going to help you in an accident any more than a little bit of foam or a little bit of fluff around your helmet's going to help in an angry baggage handler impact. And fair enough to say, I just assume all baggage handlers are pretty angry because, unless I don't know, unless maybe they're making more than I hope. I hope they're making more than I assume, but I just assume they're all mad about something because I probably would be if I was doing that. So anyhow,
it goes back to I don't let go of the stuff that prevents me from racing.
Nope,
right?
Not at all.
So yeah, I mean, I honestly, I see the way. I don't know. I think you have a better shot with package delivery not getting beat up than because you can also pack a lot of impact protecting stuff around your helmet when you ship it. So that's an important point that you're making, Bill. I hadn't had to consider that before, but I wouldn't want to let it out of my hands. I left it. I shipped it. I traveled with a guitar one time. It was the scariest thing I ever did in my whole life because I had to watch some guys outside pick the case up by the neck and slam it down the belt. I was like, I was sitting where I could see it. It was terrible.
Did it stay in tune, Ben?
It was, temperatures are wild, kind of coming and going if you're in the cargo hold. So I wasn't too worried about that. As long as the neck was still attached, I was okay. But it was. I got a real big, sad 15-year-old feeling when I watched him do that when I was 15.
Yeah, I bet.
So if it's up to me and I have a way around it, I do not let go.
Yeah,
no.
Thanks for elaborating on that. I just kind of wanted to get into that a little bit.
Yeah, and the other advantage of it, if I ship it and it's supposed to be there like 2 weeks ahead of time and it's not there the day before I leave, then I go buy a new one because it's lost.
Yeah.
So.
And if any listener does something bad to their lid, you drop your helmet off, something like that, and it's going to make you not make the next race and you're worried about making a choice, I don't know. Let us know at Garage Heroes, and we'll try to do some sort of scholarship to get you a helmet that's not going to break your head. But like if you drop your helmet, throw it away. It is not a helmet anymore. If the helmet takes really any kind of serious impact harder than something really soft, it's a top rated helmet.
The only thing,
one, let us know.
Yeah, the only thing. So my helmet from my big crash, that is now my fueling helmet.
Yep.
Yeah. Sure. Totally.
You can still use it. But
yes, you're right.
Never in a race car. Use it for fueling. That's it.
Yeah, it's no good for being in the car with you anymore. But you're totally right. Yeah, a compromised helmet is still fine for fueling. Yeah, you're right. Good point.
Yep. And if you do ship it, I made sure that my helmet was in the center of the box and it was packed with lots of extra stuff. All my race suit, all my gloves, all my socks, basically anything I needed to make it padded. Just ship it.
There's a good Cocomelon video about this where the kids are trying to drop an egg from a height and they try several different methods with like a parachute and different sort of padding to make it not break. So I mean, for no reason at all, I know about this video. So check it out, Cocomelon. Drop the egg and then you can ship your helmet that way.
And Ben will apparently be sending me a link to this video because I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh yeah, it's the kids. The kids are doing an experiment where they drop an egg. They try foam around it. They try a parachute. All the things you do with your helmet. We'll put it in the show notes.
Show notes.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
because I haven't seen that one.
No, that's good.
Yeah, but back to the topic here. Whatever is required for you to be able to race.
You're new to this podcast. Back to the topic. We have moved on, sir.
We did it. It's good.
Let's talk about scallop shells.
Whoa, Jesus.
Yeah, that brings up a lot of questions, Bill. We're not gonna.
Yep, that's it. That's in the Patreon episode that comes up later. Oh yeah. That's how we pay Ben the big bucks.
That's right.
Our non-existent Patreon. So, all right, Jeremy, pretend we're talking about a subject and we're trying to answer it.
Oh, no. Just
whatever.
Was going to reiterate what we all said was whatever you need to race, you need to make sure you bring plus a couple extra things, and that's it. You don't need to bring half of your wardrobe. You don't need to bring your whole house with you like you're going on a vacation for 6 months.
You have room, but that's optional stuff.
Right.
But also, I'm gonna not assume that I can get anything there, because also some racetracks are pretty remote locations. Once you think about it, like when you race in Thunderhill, you're in like Willows, California, and there's a Walmart and stuff there. But I mean, if you have any specialized stuff that you need to race, that's like your safety gear, you don't want to always assume that the place you're going has a great pro shop at the track that'll let you replace whatever you have that's going to fit you. I mean, there are some places you go like race at you race at Sears Point, they got this place like Wine Country Motorsports there, and whatever you didn't bring to the track, you could buy there at pretty great expense. But overall, I don't think it's safe to assume whatever track you're going to is going to have a pro shop like that. So definitely bring what you need.
I've been to more tracks that don't have a pro shop than I have tracks that do.
Right. So.
But we love the ones that do.
Yeah, it's nice. I've bought stuff at almost all of them eventually.
Exactly. It's just a matter of when, not if.
Right. You're going to be buying water weather in one of these places before you can even imagine. So.
Or if somebody finds out that your harnesses are 2 days over expired.
Yep. True story.
Yep. Not that it's happened to me. Oops. And just in case, it does say bring your license. We have specific evidence to support on our team that if your license expired the preceding month, that does not mean you brought your license with you. It just means you brought a piece of paper that was laminated in plastic and had your picture on it.
Now all you have is a photo ID. You do not have a license anymore.
Exactly. Ask us how we know.
Ouch. You were a licensed driver.
Exactly. Because once you're over like 21 by more than like a few years, who cares if your license is whatever? Don't need it. I never look at it. Hopefully. Very well, gentlemen. We've I was going to say we did well without the ladies, but I remembered the story I talked about, so probably not that well.
No, we didn't.
No,
we really didn't.
No.
I think my tragic workplace prank accident is more of a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
I told it as a courtesy to everybody, so people would know not to try the thing that I tried.
I figured we were sharing.
Really didn't work out. Yeah.
And then Bill totally took it a whole different direction.
Well, yeah. It sounds like I can't even tell what direction we went in or what indeed happened, but one day I'll find out, and it's going to be great.
That's right. So if you too were at Semarang, send us an email at Gmail.
Oh man, the Semarang clubs about to unite.
That's right.
Oh God.
There's so many more stories from Semarang. We'll talk about those on another episode of Garage Years and Training at gmail.com with Dominating with Dawson, and hopefully Jeremy shows up.
Diarrhea with Dawson.
Exactly. Well, that was kind of the story I talked about already, but yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, sorry. Well, that's what it's called. That's what it's called now.
It could be. It's been called worse.
By Bill.
Yeah.
Can't imagine what the t-shirt's going to look like for that this year. Anyway.
I say like one serious thing and 99 completely unserious things on the show all the time.
That's okay. All right, eventually we're going to end this one.
Should we? Oh, let's just let it. I can do this
going to be a quick
one.
Just be a quick one.
Yeah, this is a quick one. It was until the scallop shells. Anyway,
I'm not listening to this one.
Probably a good plan.